Hey everybody, it's me, Sven Sharpen here, bringing you day number 90 of Let's Talk About Autism. Before we get started, hit the like and subscribe button down below. It'll help me out a lot. Happy Star Spangled Month. Man, we're already halfway through this year and we're on day 90, which is quite amazing. But yeah, so in this video I'll be talking about how the autism spectrum itself, in a way, is pretty complicated. No one can even agree on how to actually map it, which is, that's kind of an impossible thing to do. Like, some people say a linear spectrum, others say it's like circular or square. It's like a multi-dimensional thing. But we don't know really, and that's kind of what I'm here for, is to get some sort of truth on how we can actually define it, because we can't even define who we are. So that's really the problem. I'm definitely going to do some research about this, but ultimately it's a very complicated subject. But there are a few things that will point in a general direction. Like, for example, what I've seen is that most autistic people who are very smart, very intelligent, very creative, very bright, know exactly what they're doing, very articulate, typically don't have any of these seriously disabling features that somebody who's nonverbal or whatever would typically have. So even if you had like a two-dimensional spectrum map as opposed to a one-dimensional map, like, you'd either be on one side or the other, even if some traits might point to something high functioning while something else could point to something in the opposite direction. But I haven't really seen much of that. It's usually either one thing or the other, which definitely points to a very linear setting. But there's definitely other things that point to a more two-dimensional map, even if you're gonna be more on one side than the other. But it's a very complicated topic, and even I myself don't know a whole lot, even though I'd say I know more than most people generally do. But it's a very complicated thing, and there are definitely better ways to map it out or divide it or categorize it, even though Big Pharma and others have already tried that, and ultimately it just never works, because they give us the exact same treatment with not a whole lot of difference, which sort of just defeats the entire point of that. But ultimately it's a very complicated thing, but we got to figure out how to define it if we're actually going to get something started. We got to figure out, what is the spectrum, what is it, how can you map it, what traits are on one side or the other, where exactly do you put stuff, that sort of thing. And I'm definitely going to do that over the coming weeks and months as I go on. But it's definitely a complicated thing, but ultimately we'll figure it out. And there are things that hint to a linear or sort of like one side or the other, even though there are multiple other things that exist, multiple other factors that can complicate things. So yeah, that's sort of the gist of it all. That was day number 90. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you on day number 91, and goodbye.